All right, go ahead. Here. Okay, so I just realized my mic wasn't on that whole time. Sorry about that. It's muted. All right. I was kind of narrating what I'm doing here. Hopefully, it wasn't too weird and awkward, but here we go. All right, so I'm almost done kind of setting this. It's all right, Zach. It's cool, man. Don't worry about it at all. It's perfectly fine. All right, so that motion looks good. Now I need to slide in this piece here. I'm gonna come on the other side and do something similar to what we did with the other side. I'm gonna spin in. Yeah, if people want to come in and just hang out and vibe, that's totally fine with me. But I appreciate your enthusiasm. Thank you very much for that. I've been talking this entire time and the mic was muted. So sorry about that the last 20 minutes or so. Really funny. Okay. Almost there here. Let's see how that whole thing looks now. Looks pretty good. Just need to ease in that motion a little bit more. And we'll be ready to back that down and yeah. It's like I tried to do hi there, Seth. Yeah. I was trying to do on Friday a like a live stream of opening the Wally set, and I like tested it and everything was fine, and then I went to do it and it looked like everything was good, but it was not. I have no idea what happened. But I had to redo the entire thing. So it wasn't a true unboxing because I'd already unboxed it, fortunately. Almost good in here. Let's see what that looks like. A little bit too much motion. Slide that back just a hair. Still too much. Yeah. Okay, now we got that into place. Gonna do a build scene here. Here we go. All right, so looks like we've got another plate coming down right on top of that. Grab that out of here. Awesome, Zach. Happy birthday to your dad. And what kind of content do you do? Lego related or? Awesome. That's some growth is always nice. Yep, sure. Okay, music and comedy, awesome. Two things I think a lot of people really enjoy, so. Is that? There it is. All right. All right, so I'm gonna take a look at what's next here. That's the end of it, actually. So I'll just do an animation. We'll slide this up to here, and everything will move off into the sunset, and then we start building WALL-E. Okay. Oop, I knocked that. I forgot to back that down. That's okay. Yeah, that kind of. Let me take one more frame just so I can. That's close enough. All right. Go ahead and get this animated out of the way. I'll probably do like a angle change here for WALL-E. I'll be moving the camera around here shortly. All right. So this, I do need a little bit of tack on there. Try to keep that in place. Slide this other thing up. There we go. Okay. Now we'll start sliding this over. Oh, maybe it was better that I was muted earlier because it seemed like there were more people here then. That's okay. All right, so this is gonna pop up a little bit and can slide right into place. See how that looks. Smaller. Closer. There we go. Good. Okay. Just this ticky tack a little bit. It's upwards. Almost there. I'm just gonna kind of slide this off this way. Get that entire piece off of there. Yeah. Who would have ever thought it would be so fun to build literal compacted trash? This up here. Pretty good so far. Hey, Pepto, how's it going? Yeah. The hot dogs, the compacted trash. All right, so once we get this slid out of frame, I'm gonna move the camera around a bit. I wanna get kind of a different angle for WALL-E build. All right, that looks, there it goes. All right, so let's get a new scene going here. All right, I'm gonna hop over here to the camera. I think I want to do this. Maybe I'll do like a straight on shot. It doesn't give me a whole lot of room though. I kind of want to get more of that light in. Maybe this. Okay. This bowl out of the way. And this box. Do it. So I'm going to build kind of right here, right on the edge. Hopefully as it goes up into this like blackness, would be the best thing. I'm using a software called Dragon Frame. This. Hang on, the camera's not responding. Give me just a second. Be right back. Gotta kind of reset it, so hang on. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, I did use Stop Motion Studio for a long time. Actually, the first video I did that was not Stop Motion Studio was the Legend of Zelda tree, the Deku tree. Oh, now the software's messing up again. Like, it won't take a picture. All right, let me turn this off. Again. Oh. All right, so to fix this last time, Had to exit, drag and frame, pull it back up here. Yeah. Knock on wood. Okay, let's see if this fixes it. Okay. Should not be a live view because the camera is. Okay, I think we're back in business here. No? Still? All right, I got one more thing to try here. Exit, unplug the camera completely. It's like, I guess it didn't like being moved. Okay, I'm gonna pull up Dragon Frame, plug it in, Dragon Frame open. Oh, Zach, he was saying that jinxed the software by asking what it was, and now it isn't working properly. I literally never had this happen before. Okay, so live view is working. It just won't take a picture. I don't know. Okay. All right, just a minute. Sorry about this. I don't know what's going on here. See if it's like Dragon Frame's like locked up in the background. I've had that happen before. I'm gonna check that out. Like the worst thing that could happen. Let's see here. Okay. Seeing it. Running it all. Let's try this again. Maybe this scene is messed up. I'm gonna make a new scene. Try that. All right, give this one more shot. If this decides it's not gonna work, then I don't know what to do. Hey, there we go, it worked. Okay. Hey, that scene was just like messed up for some reason. Okay. Adjust our focus. What do you need help with, Zach? All right, there we go. I think we're good now. That's like way over there. I didn't really want it that far, but okay. All right, so I'm gonna do something a little funny with this that I've tried in one other video that I have not released yet. And I want this like come up over the side of the table. See how that looks. It's kind of awkward to set up, but it ends up looking kind of cool. that way. Scooch over. Okay. Or be it waypoint here. And look that way. Larger piece here. It's not, didn't fall like completely yet. Kind of rotate into place here. You. There. I want to end there. Let me. Okay. It's kind of weird looking, but we'll go with it. Yeah, looks all right. Okay, so now let's start building onto that. So in the instructions here, we've got it kind of facing this direction. And then on step 4 here, it turns. I'm just going to start with step 4, like the way that direction that's in. It looks like it stays there for a while. So I'm going to start off with this piece. That. Actually, kind of the angle that this is at. Maybe I do need to do it this other way. Okay, well, more movement is better. We'll just do that. Because the angle changes quite a bit from where we're at. Oh. I think a lot of people do, because I get asked a lot. About that. I don't know. But I've had people call out for me. Oh, it's not AI. Like if you go watch the other videos. Because I do voiceover and stuff for everything. No, it is not generated. I actually don't do a whole lot. I don't do any editing. Like color correction or anything on these. I pretty much just add the sound effects. And that is it. Or if I like do movement, I'll, edit out the rig and try to edit out the sticky tack too, if it's really bad. Okay. So that might be another stream, like doing the editing. Show people kind of what I do. All right, so now we need to turn this. It's gonna go kind of this way. Yeah, I try to spend a lot of time on the build because the most important thing, and if I can get this part right, everything else comes together really fast. So. Okay. Start. Slide in this way a bit. Until it looks about like the instruction. I think I'm almost there. Yeah. I use it to keep everything in place. I use it to lift stuff. And then also, like, if you see anything flying in a build, I use this little rig here. And then I can just erase it in post-production. I do that. Use all the tricks. But most of the time I don't edit out the sticky tack, so if you can catch the frame or two, it's in there. Definitely there. That last move was a little too much. Try that. It's a little wonky, but let me tack that down before we move on here. Yeah, this is actually, this rig here is actually for holding wires if you're doing soldering. I don't do soldering. I literally only do this. But it works really well. And it was really cheap. It was like $9 for it. Came with a couple different arms, and then I just added this like little plastic piece here. Make it a little bit easier to edit out. Get this back where it was here into place, and then we'll take one more picture so it's a little more seamless. Yeah, that last little bit, it moves up. Slide that back just a hair. There we go. That's not too bad. All right, so now we're gonna hop into some more building. Still good. I do the animations in 24 frames a second. They're a little smoother. And then I do the building in 8 frames a second because I want the pieces to linger a little bit longer. It's not just going so fast you can't tell even what's going on. That's why I keep switching and like the screen goes away and comes back because I'm creating a new scene in a different frame rate. This build's had a lot of movement in it, so it's taking a lot longer than something else, but I think we're in a section now where it's going to be a lot of building, so it should go pretty quick at this point. A lot of pieces to put on here. We can go quite a bit faster. Yeah, the base plate can work too. Like I use that from time to time if something's kind of awkward or it has like a really skinny bottom and like a flared up top. Because the sticky tack will only hold it if it's like a flat plate and it doesn't get too tall and skinny. The taller it gets, the worse sticky tack is. And I used for a long time the blue color sticky tack, and that stuff, it doesn't stick as well, and it doesn't hold, but when you try to take it off the pieces, it doesn't want to come off the pieces. It also leaves like an oily residue, which is not great for Lego. And then I use sometimes like paper, colored paper underneath, and it would leave like big splotches on those. So I've switched to this like gray kind of color. It blends in better and it solves literally all those problems. All right, let's take a look how this is coming along here. Pretty good. And this is the exact speed it'll be in the final video as well. Where'd it go? All right. I can't even see that piece, but it's there, so we'll give it its own frame. Okay, now we've got just this one light gray piece here, and then a little bit of Technic assembly to do. Let me double check this is still in focus. It should be. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So now we're here on this Technic assembly. I'm going to build from this side over to this side. I'll start with this gray piece. So I'm not going to follow the order of the instructions because that would be weird. So I'm going to build this, or put this piece, then the bar, then the bushing, and we'll just slide everything into place. And then when we get to this last brick, I can just take it off, put this piece on, and then put everything back into place. That. Got our little red rod here, and actually I can take that off because it's sticky tacked down. Place it back on there. We'll add our little spacer here. Okay, and then ball point, the socket to our ball joint. I want to figure out how to do Technic sets like in a really cool way. I think Technic pieces need to like slide into place, every single one of them, instead of just appear like the bricks. And that would just take forever. So it'd have to be a really cool set, I think, for me to want to try to do that. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, we got these high sides here. Yeah, movement and change in lighting is the enemy of these, of stop motion. Unwanted movement and lighting changes. You can control those then, like 99% of the way, making it look pretty good. Okay, those almost missed that. Wish I would have seen these two smaller pieces on the side before using those larger ones. Would have put those first. Yeah, so once we get going here, it goes pretty quick. Just those animations, that extra time for the animations. Slows it down a little bit. One thing, both pieces there? Did. Okay, let's continue that. One thing I've tried in the past is like, instead of animating the movements, just like physically showing my hand moving the thing. And I didn't like that because I can never get the camera video to line up exactly like pictures line up. So it always end up looking a little bit off. All right, looks pretty good. I probably won't stream the whole set. I usually do like an hour and a half roughly on Sundays, whatever I'm building at the time. And then like through the week, just in my free time, I'll be building it mostly. It's hard for me to find time to stream sometimes, so. I need a break for a sec, I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay. Stopped as expected. All right, what have we got next here? We got our facing to the outside. Right over here. I think it's pretty cool with this set. A lot of the building techniques are very similar to the original WALL-E set, just on a smaller scale. Like I remember using these like taller plates on the sides and that sort of thing. That's kind of cool. Yeah, that's coming along. Pretty good. All right, so we've got coming up here a Technic assembly. Looks like the neck assembly. So I'm going to do, that's interesting. So the problem I'm seeing, this is going to be difficult because the end of this axle isn't going to really fit into the hole on the piece we already have without moving a lot. I think what I'm actually going to do is, let's see, I'm going to see first how this looks. So I'm going to put this piece into here. Slide that in. Okay, so it doesn't actually touch that. Interesting. Yeah, it doesn't reach that far. Can I see that in the build? Yeah, I think you can. All right, so what I'm gonna do then, kind of makes things a little bit easier. I can just put this on, this piece here, on and take it off as I add things to it. Start with that. Wait, this is the opposite of that. This should actually be back here, I think. Double check that. Yeah. It actually goes through ball joint. Okay. This is very interesting. I've never seen this before. Okay, so this is gonna get annoying. There's now this ball. It's gonna fit into that ball joint. So it's gonna make it really hard to keep taking this out. I don't think we actually need to. I think now we should be good. Popping that into place. You probably can't even see that ball joint. The ball going joint. And not really. Now we have this axle coming off of the top here. Got this assembly here. That back over. Go. these. Put ends on there. Okay. Right, yep. This is that was interesting. That was a very different building technique I've not seen used. Like I've never seen the Technic piece not going clear to the other side. So that's kind of neat. And this actually allows it to move, like actually movable. Wow. Okay. That is really cool. I'm definitely going to have to mention that in the review. Okay. Keep going here. I can see that this back. All right, perfect. Excuse me. Okay, so this little section here, I think I can build around that right now. With this yellow color. About done with the internals of WALL-E here. I'm starting to work on the outside. Now, super glad they didn't cheap out and put a bunch of stickers in this set. Super happy for that. So one thing I'm paying attention to right now is the number of frames. So if you look like right above the line of all the different pictures, there's a number 62. That's how many pictures we have. I try to keep that below 100. If it gets above 100, I feel like it's lingering too long. So I just try to keep an eye on that as I go. Box myself in here. Let's see if I can get. No. All right, let's go. Okay. Crawl under the table there. All right, there we go. All right, that's coming along pretty well. Looks like we just have a couple more pieces to go on this bag. All right, take a look. Oh, and I just realized that needed to go in there. Take all that apart and put it on there. Shouldn't be that hard to do. take a second here. That's all. Take off. Get this hole there. Okay, I knew this was going to be a problem. There. Okay, so I totally messed that up and forgot to put this in there. That's okay. Put it in there now. Put it all back together. Yeah, I make mistakes all the time, so it happens. It's okay. All right, back together. Up here. All right. Right, so it looks like it came together pretty nicely. So we look at the instructions for bag 2 here. I'm gonna pop that open. Let me take a look at some of the pieces that are in there. All right, so this looks like the entire outside, like all the outside details. I'll show you some of the pieces here. We've got printed Wally tile and these like front details. So it looks like we'll be building the front door next. And some other things. So this whole thing needs to like fall over on its side. So we can build what looks like the back section. And it pops back up, okay? All right, I think we can do that in a very interesting and easy way. I want to move the camera. Hopefully that's not a death sentence again. Let's see here. All right. I need to back up a bit. A higher angle. Raise this up. Go down because I want more cable. Okay. I'm gonna go and take this off. And I bet with the magic of video, no one will even know that this thing is not in exactly the same spot it was before. Switch that here, because what's going to happen is I want it to be a little bit off center here. Fall forward. That. And we have a nice angle of everything. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to set it in its final resting place there. Let's get the focus correct. There we go. I'm going to take a picture of that. And now that I see where that's going to end up, put this back here, not like that. Excuse me. Then I can go back and just delete this frame. Okay. And we'll start over. We'll start falling. I'm trying to think what would be the best way to do this. Probably just sticky tack. That to the bottom here. Or up like so. Okay. And I can kind of put not like a good spot to put this here. What I can do is if I just do like one frame with this sitting up like this, I can. It needs to be even more. Oh, do this then. It's here. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. Okay. Scooch. Look at that. All right. Try this again. So, a little bit more that way. Let me just stick this front there. There we go. That's what I wanted. Maybe a little higher. Closer to the edge. All right, there we go. Then we can fall a lot. That like a big drop. It. To make this look a little nicer, add a bounce. Maybe a couple of bounces. So I'll put back there, slide it forward a hair. Drop it down. That looks pretty good. Like that. That looks actually really nice. Okay, we can do sticky tack here. Excuse me. All right, I'm gonna put some here. That's the side that's gonna be facing the camera. So I just want a little bit side. In case it squeezes out. Okay. This can like kind of slide forward just a little bit. Still be in line with the motion we want. Uh-oh, what's going on there? Okay. I'm not gonna be able to put a whole lot of pressure on this because it's like wanting to fall apart. See how that looks. Pretty good. That's exactly where we want it, right in the middle. Okay. Now we can start building on top of that. It starts in back here. We'll work our way up with these yellow pieces. Move forward, now we'll move back because we've got to add these little tiles on top of those modified bricks, modified plates. Okay. Moving on here. All right, so it's kind of like a weird little assembly. Attach. Oh, well, that's very simple. Okay. Just gonna build this in place. I don't need to worry about anything else here. Technic pin there. And 1x3, is that tan or gray? It's like a tan color. There it is. Okay. Bond truck in here. It's just the same thing on this other side. Didn't even look at the instructions. I just started building of habit. All right. Looking pretty good. Oh, these upside down assemblies. Is there anywhere to put those pieces? I will probably just build these two things at the same time. So, stick that on there. Excuse me. Now I'm gonna cheat a little bit. And I'm gonna assemble these. This off. We just get 4 pieces at one time. I think it's a little bit easier. I don't think it would be easy to follow anyway. Put all these pieces individually, so here, do this. Here we go. All right. All right. Now we got these slopes coming in. So a small one here at the very end. Long slope. Yeah, that's coming along there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. It's starting to rock back and forth. Maybe I need to start them apart. Putting that pressure on it. All right, now would be building a little bit. Actually, no, I have these things to go in there. All right, I'm gonna build those both at the same time. And then I'll do an animation to have them go down. I'm gonna build them straight up. Little pistons here. Yep. Those on there. Like two different colors of yellow. I'm just noticing it's like this bright yellow with the Technic and this kind of orangey yellow for the rest of it. See how that looks. Okay. All right, so now these need to down that. Start an animation here. Let's slow it first. Speed it up a bit. Okay, see how that looks. Not bad. All right, so next, this whole body's got to go back up. Then we'll building some of these. Looks like the arm assemblies, possibly. Yeah. And then the front door. No, that's for the door assembly. That is, I think. Okay. Well, I think right now is probably a good breaking point. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break. Maybe back a little bit later to continue on this. But thank you everybody who joined, and hopefully you learned something, or getting excited about this set. I know I've been excited about it for a long time, and I'll see you all next time. Thank you so much.